name's Jade. I work at Teesside University in the student recruitment team, and today I'm going to be going over applying to university through UCAS with you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my presentation. So hopefully you can all see that. So we are going to look at applying to university through UCAS and the full system and how it works. So what is UCAS is the first big question. You'll probably hear that phrase thrown around a lot when it comes to applying to university. So UCAS is the Universities and Colleges Admission Service. That basically means that it's the platform that all undergraduate applications to universities are made through. So they'll go through on the online application through UCAS. There are some key dates when it comes to applying to university. So for those of you that are in year 12 now and they're looking to apply to UCAS next year, this will be really relevant for you. But also if you're in year 13 and you haven't made an application yet, this is still applicable. There's still lots of useful information here for you. If you've just decided that you want to go to university, that's absolutely fine, and we'll talk through that later. So the key dates start on the 1st of September. So UCAS applications open on the 1st of September. That gives you an opportunity to start getting your application ready. You've got plenty of time. If you want to start working over it this summer and be really proactive, you can definitely do that. But the 1st of September, the UCAS application process will open. There is a 15th of October deadline for anybody that's wanting to apply to Oxford or Cambridge, medicine, dentistry, those typically much more competitive courses. They have an earlier deadline of the 15th of October. So veterinary medicine and veterinary science are in there as well. What you'll find is that all colleges and sixth forms will have an internal deadline. So your careers advisors and your tutors will be asking you to get your application pulled together by November or December at the latest, if you're looking to apply to any course outside of those competitive ones we've just mentioned. The colleges do set their own internal deadlines very simply because your careers advisors and your tutors will have a lot of student applications they need to look through, and your tutors will also write a reference for you, they'll proof your personal statement, they'll check that your application's accurate. So you do need to make sure that you meet those internal deadlines. It's really important because the UCAS deadline is actually the 15th of January, which is quite soon after coming back from the Christmas break. So you need to give your careers advisors the best chance to, give your application lots of attention, make sure that that you do get it inside that internal deadline. It's really important. So when you do come to apply online, you will, like most of the online sort of registration platforms, you'll add your personal details, you'll get a username, you'll also set up a password, and you'll set some security questions as well, try and remember those. You will get a buzzword that's associated to your school or college as well, so that just links your application to your careers advisor or tutor so that they can review your application. The UCAS application form is made up of 9 separate sections, as you can see listed on the presentation there. So we will look at personal details, we'll ask for additional information, student finance, the choices that you're making, so the courses that you're wanting to apply to, your education, so making sure you've got all of that to hand is really useful. Employment as well, so if you've had part-time jobs, work experience. We'll ask for your personal statement. We do ask for a reference as well. And then there is a charge associated with the UCAS application, so then you'll need to pay for your application and send it off. So when it comes to applying to university, you can apply for up to 5 courses. That doesn't mean it has to be 5 universities. You can apply to 5 courses at the same university, or you can apply to the same course at 5 different universities. You do need to provide all of your previous qualifications and results if you've got them. What's really handy is getting all your old certificates out and having them there. You will also put in what you're currently studying, and your referee will also pop into the application what your predicted grades are. So that's for those that you haven't finished yet or you're still studying, they'll be provided by your tutor, so you don't need to worry about that. You also have to be asked to put in details of paid or voluntary jobs, so make sure you get all of that information in to show what you've been doing outside of studying. You'll write a personal statement. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that later on. That's a really important part of your application. You will need a reference, so somebody that can confirm who you are, your personal statement. Most tutors will do that for you. And like I say, when you've your application, you're happy with it, you've checked it over, you're ready to submit it, you'll pay a fee. I think it's £20 if you're just making one application for one course. If you're using up to 5 choices, it's £25. So there is a cost associated with this. So the personal statement is a really important part of your application. If you are worried about this or you're working on it as we speak, we do have some more in-depth videos specifically on the personal statement, so do feel free to have a look at those as well. This is a really quick overview of what a personal statement is. So your personal statement is up to words. It's basically a document giving you an opportunity to sell yourself. If you are applying to a course that doesn't interview, your personal statement is actually your only opportunity to really sell yourself and tell the person about you, what makes you different, why you should study this course. So really, you need to spend a good amount of time writing it, rewording it, editing it, getting people to check. Definitely do a bit of research about the courses you're applying as well and see if you can include information about those courses into your personal statement. So explaining why you've chosen the course, what it is that interests you specifically, and why you're a good fit is really important. Talk about your skills, your experience, but remember to give examples of everything. So we really want to see, you might say, I'm really organised, so I'll be very good at this degree. How are you organised? Why? Can you give us examples? Really show us, sell to us what you've done, what skills you've developed from that, and why those skills that you've used and have are going to make it even better for you when you come to study. So that's really important. And definitely talk about things you've done on top of school or college as well. So if you've done Duke of Edinburgh, if you've done works experience, if you've volunteered for St John's Ambulance, anything additional on top that shows that you're really proactive and you're going outside of just what you're doing at school or college is really important. It might even be some extracurricular reading. You might have read a book around the subject area that isn't on the curriculum that you found really interesting. Those types of things are really important. What I always advise as well is definitely have a look at examples. So you can very easily Google good and bad examples of personal statements. I'd advise you to do that. Get your head around what universities do want to see and what they don't want to see. Try and stay away from cliches. Don't use that ever since I was a child. We see that a lot on personal statements. Just try and be original. Keep it really focused. What we don't want you to do is just copy and paste other people's personal statements. So UCAS do use an anti-plagiarism tool to check that we haven't received similar personal statements before. So if that happens and you found that you have plagiarised, your application will be void. So make sure you don't do that. Definitely look for inspiration, take advice, Google what is good and bad, but don't copy. Make sure that your application and your personal statement is completely original. You also want to check for accuracy as well. So there's nothing worse than reading a brilliant personal statement but seeing that there's lots of spelling and grammatical mistakes. So make sure you are checking for your accuracies. Ask your friends, your family, your teachers to check your personal statement for you. If your mates at college, swap them over, so you check your friends and they'll check yours. Make sure it reads well, it's natural, but it's really informative. And a massive tip as well is to also type up your personal statement in a Word document. Don't type it straight into the UCAS application, because if it refreshes or if something goes wrong, you've lost it. Write it up in a Word document. This also helps with the editing as well. You can play with it, you can move paragraphs around, you can make sure it reads well. It's definitely a really handy tip. So there is the 15th of January deadline for all on-time applications. If you've missed the 15th of January deadline, which if you're in year 13 and you haven't applied yet, you will have done, year 13 or second year of college. Don't worry about that. Universities do still accept applications after the 15th of January deadline. The only thing is they're now classed as late applications as opposed to on-time applications. And that means that if you applied before the 15th of January, universities had to have a look at your application and consider it. If you apply after the 15th of January, there is a chance that more competitive courses will have now closed. So some of our more health-based courses are quite competitive, so paramedic practice, you might find that health courses have now closed, they've filled up all the spaces, but we still have a lot of courses that are still available for September 2020 entry. So don't worry if you have just decided you want to apply to university and you've made that decision, it's okay. You just need to do a little bit of research and check which courses are still available. If you can, for those year 12s or first year college students that are listening, don't take the risk of leaving your application until the last minute. You don't want to find out that the course that you've set your heart on is full and you can't get a space. So if you are looking to apply for September 2021, definitely start thinking about your application, what you can do over the summer. and being ready in September to get back in and start on your application straight away to make sure you hit that deadline. So once you've completed your application, what will happen next? You'll basically be set up with a UCAS personal ID number. You'll get a username and you'll get a list of your choices as well. What you'll do throughout the process is you'll be able to check the progress of your applications on UCAS Track. So you'll be able to log in and see whether universities have made you an offer or not. And I've got a little bit of information about that coming up. So there are a few deadlines to make you aware of as well. So there's the 31st of March deadline. We'll make decisions on applications by that if they were on time. For any applications that were after that, you'll find that there's a May deadline as well. So you've submitted your applications and they've been sent off to the universities that you've chosen. Depending on the course, depending on the university, you may be invited for an interview. At Teesside University, obviously at the minute we aren't able to do in-person interviews, but what we're doing is similar sort of Skype type interviews to make sure that you get the opportunity to talk about the course you're interested in and everything's trying to work as normal as usual. So we are still offering interviews, they're just online. When you have applied, applicants will receive one of the following from the universities through UCAS. So you'll either get a conditional offer, an unconditional offer, your application will be withdrawn, or your application will be unsuccessful. And I've got a little bit of explaining about each of those phrases. So when a university says they're making you a conditional offer, that means that they're offering you a place on that course at that university based on you achieving a certain thing. That might be that we want you to get triple distinction in your BTEC. It might be that we want you to get 112 UCAS points. There's different criteria. It might be based on you getting 112 UCAS points plus passing a GCSE. It varies from student to student. That's what that conditional offer means, that on completion of your qualification and gaining the qualification that's stated in your offer, you'll be made an offer at that university on that course. So it's all based on your results, basically. An unconditional offer means that you have already met the conditions, so the place is yours if you want it. So this happens to sometimes mature students or students that have applied but already have the qualification. They're not waiting for their results in the summer. So we'll make a student an unconditional offer then if they've already got the qualification. So you might get a withdrawn application. So a course choice can be withdrawn by either you or the university, and the reason for that will be shown up in the UCAS Track system. So you might get a withdrawn application if you haven't attended an interview. You might have submitted an application and then changed your mind and wanted to withdraw your application from that university, and that's absolutely fine as well. So there will always be a reason associated with it in Track, and you'll be able to see that. And the last option that you might get is an unsuccessful application. So this means that a university has decided to not offer you a place. You haven't been successful in getting a place. There is quite often a reason. It might be that the qualification you're studying doesn't give you points. It might be that your application didn't quite meet the grade. It might be a really competitive course. Your personal statement might have not been strong enough. There are lots of reasons. If there isn't a reason given on Track, I'd say definitely get in touch with the university and ask if you can have feedback. Some courses we can offer that. I know for some courses, health courses, for example, we have quite a high amount of applications, so it's not always easy to give feedback, but definitely ring or email and ask if you can have feedback if you are unsuccessful. So what will happen then is successful applicants, out of those 5 applications that they've made, they'll basically pick their top 2. So they'll accept 1 firm choice and 1 insurance choice. And as the name suggests, your firm is your first choice and your insurance is your backup, basically. If you don't meet the grades to get your firm choice, your insurance is your automatic backup. Once your exam results are published, so on A-level results day or BTEC results day or access results, depending on what qualification you're doing, on the exam results day, your university or college will confirm your place. So you'll be able to log on to UCAS Track and you'll be able to see whether your place has been accepted or not. If you find that you haven't quite been as successful as you thought you would be, you'll follow the same route as a declined or rejected applicant. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Don't worry, it is not the end of the world if you don't secure a place at your firm or insurance university. Don't worry about that at all. We have some other options to look at. So if you are unsuccessful, and it's never nice, it does feel really stressful, it's not the end of the world, is what I'd like to say to you. Don't think that that's it, your dreams of going to university are over. That is not the case at all. You do have UCAS Extra, which is until the end of June, where you can add additional options onto your application, depending on how many universities you've applied to. And then from July until September, we have something called UCAS Clearing. This is where all available places at universities and courses are advertised. So you can find them in the Independent, on the UCAS website, and on the individual university websites as well. So if you found you were successful but you wanted to apply through Clearing, you can do that. What I'd always say is speak to the university before adding that additional choice onto your UCAS application. So you want to speak to the university, check the courses for you, check there's still spaces, is it somewhere you want to study, find out as much information as you can before you make those choices. So on the screen now we've just got quite a, looks complicated but it's quite simple, sort of diagram to show the process that you'll go through. So at the top in the middle you can see that we've sent an application off to universities and you've got two options. You either an offer's been made and you've been successful, or you have been unsuccessful. If you've been unsuccessful and all of your applications have been declined or rejected, you do have that option as discussed of going through UCAS Extra or UCAS Clearing. So it's not the end of the world. However, if an offer is made, you've got two routes that you could go down. You may have had an unconditional offer, which is great. You've already met your conditions and everything's great. We'll see you in September. Or you've been made a conditional offer. So if you've been made conditional offers, and you might have been made 5 conditional offers at 5 different universities, you're going to pick your firm, which is again your first choice, and an insurance, which is your second choice place. We'll wait for results day, and if you've met the conditions of your firm choice, brilliant, that'll automatically be you accepted onto that course. If you haven't met the firm conditions, but you have met your insurance conditions, then that again, automatically you'll be accepted onto your insurance course. If you've not had a place confirmed, because you've not been successful, again, we'll go through that process of applying either through UCAS Extra, depending on the time of year, or UCAS Clearing. So there's still opportunity for you to go to university. It's not the end of the world. So once you've had your firm and your insurance offers accepted, I would say you need to start doing a little bit of research about the university you're going to. So you might want to attend open days, find out about the university that you're planning on attending, go to taster events to get yourself really ready for starting in September, go to some careers conventions, find out what the universities that you've chosen to study at can do for you, and definitely start to think about other areas as well. So you might want to start looking at accommodation, what social activities that are available, what sports teams you can join, whatever interests you. Definitely start looking and doing a little bit more research into your first choice university. You look at student support as well, so start thinking, like I say, about that accommodation process and how you apply, thinking about your student finance as well. Are you considering doing some part-time employment alongside studying? A lot of students do, most students do. You can start looking to see what jobs are available. Again, sport and wellbeing, it might be a sports team or some social clubs you want to join, and counselling and career, so all those additional student support services, see what's available for you at your university. We do have some additional support as well. I'm just going to note on care leavers. So if you are a care leaver or you've been looked after, you can declare this on your UCAS form. Pre-entry support is also available. So before you start university, we can support you. If you have been in care or you are a care leaver, we can support you when it comes to student finance, your application, or interview tips, things like that. We're really keen to help you with. So even if you don't want to declare it on your UCAS form, but we would encourage you to do that. Declaring if you're a care leaver on your UCAS form just lets us know that we might be able to help you out a little bit more with student finance. It also lets us know that you would be eligible for the care leavers bursary as well. You do get a dedicated advisor that goes with this, but alongside being a care leaver, we do have a £1,000 care leaver bursary. That's £1,000 a year that you'll receive as well, and we do have 365-day a year accommodation. So if you're wanting to stay in your student accommodation all year long, we can arrange that for you as well. We also have, for any students that have special educational needs or disabilities, we've got a comprehensive support package there as well. We have a team of advisors that are brilliant. The earlier you get in touch with our disability advisors, the earlier we can get a plan put in place to support you getting ready. If you are looking to start in September, we can get everything ready to go for September. We have an assessment centre as well. There are disabled students' allowances that you may be able to access, and we do have a really good reputation for our high quality support, so that's really important as well. I have put together a list of some useful websites here. So in a moment, I will show you our Teesside University website and where you can find out information if you have applied. So if you're currently in that UCAS process and you want some information or updates on your application, I'm going to show you where you can find that. If you are looking to apply and you haven't yet, and like I say, that's whether if you are in year 13 or a second year of a course and you haven't yet applied and you're thinking, oh, actually, I do want to go to university, and you've maybe just started thinking about it, or you've been thinking about it and you just haven't had time to get your application in. What you can do is you can either email us on our inquiries@tees.ac.uk email, and a member of the team will get in touch with you, ask us any questions, whether it's about course information, entry requirements, student finance, anything. Drop us an email and we'll help you out. Or we do have the online chat, and I'm going to show you that as well. So I'm just going to pull you back. See me again, hi. I'm just going to share with you our Teesside University website. So hopefully you can all see this. This is tees.ac.uk, the Teesside University website, and this basically has everything that you need to find out. So I'm going to find an example. So if you are a current applicant, so you've applied to Teesside University and you're either waiting to hear back or you might have an interview, what you can do is if you are wanting an update on your application, and I'll use, let's do engineering as an example. Let's go for aerospace engineering. So I've applied to aerospace engineering, and this of course applies to any course. If you've applied to midwifery, nursing, fine arts, if you go onto the course page and scroll down, I mean, it does have a lot of useful information. So if you are looking at employability prospects, the entry requirements, if you have already applied, hopefully you'll be aware of those already, and also course details. But if you scroll down, a little bit of a facility video there as well, so you can find out what facilities you'll have access to when you are a student at Teesside. But just here in the get in touch box, we have an email address of the admissions team of your academic skills. So if you wanted an update on your application, your status, if there's anything outstanding that you need to be doing, you can drop the admissions team an email and they'll get back to you. Obviously with the current situation, we are working remotely, so you can only contact us by email, but the admissions teams are working really hard to get through emails as fast as possible. So please bear with us, we will get back to you with the answers. It might actually take a little bit longer than normal. So that's there. Like I say, if you do want to email us, if you are a potential student, so if you're thinking, I might want to apply to Teesside University, our website has loads of really useful information. So if you go to the undergraduate study tab, if you're looking to apply to university for the first time, there's loads of handy information. We have a virtual open day running in June that you can register onto. We've got a student blog. You can find out all about Team Teesside, and just loads of handy information here to give you a taste of what Teesside University is like. We also have information on campus. There's some drone footage. It's really useful. I know unfortunately at the minute people can't see campus like we would normally be able to show it off, but there's a really great campus video here as well, which is brilliant. And then I'm just going to pop back to the undergraduate tab. If you do want to get in touch with us, and email's not your thing, or you want a quick response, we also have the Ask Us tab here. So we have an online chat facility, which you can just click that bottom section there. You can get in touch. So this online chat function is managed by the recruitment team, Monday to Friday, 9:30 until 4:30, until 4 on a Friday. But you can pop some details in here, and I'm just going to say, let's do engineering. And UK. We can start a chat, and what will happen is one of the recruitment team will pick up the chat and you'll be able to talk to them directly. So if you do have any questions, and like I say, it can be about anything, don't worry about feeling like it might be a silly question, you don't know what to say or what to do. If you have any queries, anything at all, get in touch with us. We are sat waiting to talk to you. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pull you back. Brilliant, there we go. I do hope that was helpful. If you do have any questions regarding any point in the application process, do feel free to get in touch with us. We are here, we're working from home, but we are still here. So drop us a line, get in touch with us, email, online chat, however it works. We're on social media as well, so if you want to follow us on Instagram or Facebook, we're doing a Q&A session on Instagram. So you can, drop us a line and get in touch. But that was, hopefully it was helpful. Brilliant, thank you very much, bye.